What's up, guys? It's your girl, King, Queen, Kemi. I'm a king, I'm a queen, and my government my name is Kemi. Welcome to the YouTube channel. I've been talking about it for a minute, and I finally managed to get myself on it, in a schedule. So you're going to be seeing a lot more from me. And what is today's episode going to be about? Well, Shirley went and did it, didn't she? That's right. I went to Japan. I'm back. And it was amazing. So let's talk about it.
So I've always wanted to go to Japan, but I never thought I could actually do it. One day I decided to start planning the trip out there, and just like that, it happened. The Google machine took me to an APA hotel in Asakusa, and I booked it for 10 days. Now, Asakusa is a district in Taito, Tokyo, and is about 25 minutes from the central Tokyo. This location was perfect for me as a traveller because it gave me a real introduction into Japanese culture. It's bursting with beautiful scenery and a rich history. So I landed in Narita Airport early afternoon and headed straight to my hotel. Although the 15-hour flight was okay, the jet lag was insane, like really kicked my ass. So I slept up until about 10 p.m. and then decided to explore my beautiful surroundings. After less than 5 minutes, it was just honestly mesmerizing. I managed to stumble across the beautiful Sensoji temple, and its magical aura really took my breath away, honestly. The pictures online just don't do it justice. The original plan was to visit the temple, but I had no idea it was so close to my hotel, so, win-win. Once my breath had returned back to me, I continued to sightsee and take in my surroundings until I realized I hadn't eaten. And sadly, it was too late. Most restaurants were full or closing up. My only option was a 7-Eleven. Now I know what you're thinking. 7-Eleven? 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 Who goes from the airport to the hotel and then to a 7-Eleven in Japan? Well, you know what I did? And I'll big up my chest. I did that, okay? But this trip was special. A Japanese man started to talk to me. Like, if you know anything about Japanese culture, you know that Japanese people do not tend to speak to you if you're a stranger to them. It's just the way it is. And to be honest with you, that's absolutely fine with me. I can relate. I can take it. So when this lovely man started speaking to me and started trying to recommend me noodles to buy and beer to buy, I was like, this is absolutely magic. I absolutely loved it. He recommended me a really good beer and a delicious pot noodle to go with it. He warned me though, this noodles is hot. This noodles is super hot. Are you sure? Obviously not in Nigerian accent, but that's the best way I could articulate it without being offensive. I'm not here to offend no Japanese people. I heeded his warning, of course, but accepted the challenge. And the noodles were great. The beer hit the spot. And honestly, the encounter was just the perfect way to end the day. Noodles defeated, beer cleaned out, and it was time for me to sleep in preparation for the next adventure. Now, when I say sleep in preparation for the next day, what sleep? Jet lag had other plans, let me tell you. I dozed off around about 12:30 a.m. only to wake up at 4 a.m. Yeah, 4 a.m. I couldn't do anything to get my eyes back to sleep. In the end, I just stayed up watching Japanese TV till 6:30 a.m. when it was time for breakfast. And, well, all I can say to that is jet lag 1, Kemi nil. And it only got worse from there. So I got changed, I got dressed, and I just thought to myself, well, I'm going to take myself and get myself my breakfast. Breakfast was absolutely delicious. It was a traditional Japanese breakfast of salmon, vegetables, and I think I had a small side order of rice as well. And I had chopsticks. Now, I'd like to believe that I'm not too bad with chopsticks, and as I'm in the land of the rising sun, I'm not going to use anything other than what Japanese people use, which are chopsticks. I failed towards the end because I got my little miso soup and I poured it onto my rice, making it absolutely impossible for me to use the chopsticks. In the end, I had to use the spoon. But overall, breakfast was an absolute 1000 out of 1000. It was absolutely amazing. Once breakfast was devoured, I decided to walk around Nishi Asakusa, and it was so much fun. Beautiful scenery, amazing surroundings, loads of wonderful little shops. and again statues, and just honestly just a real like eye opener as to what Japanese culture is actually about. Like, another thing I really enjoyed about it was that everyone was smiling, everyone was happy, everyone just seemed to be really enjoying themselves. I walked around the area for about 3 or 4 hours, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to my hotel and sleep a little bit more, because as I said, this jet lag was not playing. It was not playing. I was exhausted and it made no sense. So I went back to bed, woke up around about maybe 7 o'clock, and I decided that today was the day that I tried fugu. Now, if you don't know, fugu is a Japanese delicacy that is eaten throughout the country and is enjoyed by millions. It's a puffer fish, that is the bally puffer fish that is poisonous, which means that any chef that prepares it has to be highly skilled and spends years training in order to do so. I visited a restaurant called Gwenping and it was absolutely fantastic. I had deep fried fugu, I had fugu jelly skin in my drink, and I also had like a platter of fugu with some delicious onion soy sauce. Honestly, it was so good. I absolutely loved it and would highly recommend fugu. Once again, I devoured every single piece of that fish, and yeah, I mean, it was so good. And of course I didn't die, so I mean, if I'm being honest, I didn't really think I was going to die. Like, as I mentioned before, millions of people enjoy the fish regularly, and these chefs are highly skilled and trained rigorously at their craft, so I was in safe hands. After my meal, I walked around the Shenji Temple area and the surroundings and the shops. I was late, so a lot of things again were closed or were closing, and obviously I'd just been to the restaurant, so I was full. I was gonna go and have a few drinks, but I was still feeling a little bit shy and I didn't really know much about the city. I just enjoyed sightseeing and looking around. Went back to my hotel, slept my butt, and then got ready for the next day. Now, the next part of my Japanese adventure was the Sky Tree. Yes, I decided to navigate around the Sky Tree city and then eventually go up to the top to take a look at Japan and its absolute awesomeness. Navigating to the Sky Tree wasn't hard at all. I hopped on a train from Asakusa Station and then arrived at the Sky Tree Station. It took about 25 minutes and I took a small tour around the Skytree city and looked around all the shops and really enjoyed its beauty. I really wanted to get into the Kirby restaurant, but unfortunately it was booked up and they didn't have any walk-ins on that day, so I'm going to have to save it for when I come back, and I will be coming back. Once I'd finished sightseeing around the Skytree city, I realised I had 20 minutes till it was actually my turn to go up into the viewing platform. I looked up and I noticed how big the actual Skytree was, and it really rocked me. I looked up and there was this huge, beautiful building right on top of me, and by the time I finished kind of just realising where I was, it was time for me to literally go into this building. There's an elevator that takes you straight to the top. This is my only problem that I have with the Skytree. On the way up, there's no viewing, like to actually to just watch yourself go up, if that makes sense. You're in an elevator with all the other people and the guide, and there's music playing, and I think there's like a little bit of a description in Japanese. I can't understand Japanese yet, but I'm working on it. I just kind of felt like it would have added more to the experience if you could actually see yourself going up to the viewing platform in the Skytree itself. But that's just my little take on it. What does it matter? Millions of people enjoy this destination daily, so my 2 cents doesn't really matter. They're doing something right. Once we hit the actual viewing platform, game over. It was amazing. Like, it was just really spectacular. You could see every little part of Japan, and it was really crazy. Like, I've been in a viewing platform before in Brighton, and maybe it's because I'm British, so it didn't really mean that much to me, but to actually look from that height down, I think it's something like 450 feet or something like that, at the actual like landscape was really, really mesmerizing and magical. I could see every little building, I could see cars, I could see little ants that were the little people, motorbikes, structures, buildings, the rivers, the sea. Honestly, it was wonderful. I really wasn't expecting that much of a view, and it was really quite nice to see Japan in its entirety from that level.
Okay, so that's the end of part 1. I'm going to be releasing part 2 next week, and going forward I am going to be releasing a video once a week on a Sunday, so please stay tuned for the love that I have to give you via this YouTube channel. Do us a favour, drop a comment down below, let me know what you think, what you want to see, what questions you have for me. Just chat to me, I'm here for you. Go ahead and give me a subscribe, a like and a follow, and please remember that I also stream on a Wednesday, Thursday and alternate Fridays every week. Head on over to Twitch, you know what to do. But for now, clap clap, it's a wrap, we done, I'm outie, go get a drink, and I will see you in the next video.